Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Fifth Locklights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Bonnie's Jams, it is the Peach Pepper Jelly Conserve. Sweet and spicy, a perfect pairing with cheese. We shall see. A perfectly peachy pairing with cheese, even. Alright, so I don't know if I've ever had a peach jelly before, actually. So, aged cheddar. Don't have that. Fresh cheddar. I don't have that either. Or do I? I don't think I do. Topping for a burger, that'd be kind of interesting. Grilled meats for an extra sweet spicy kick. Okay. So we have peaches, vinegar, sugar, habaneros, and fruit pectin. And we can see we've got a... Oh, this is almost like an apple butter. Interesting. Take a look at it here. It's the actual peach pieces per se, but let me smell this. Smells a bit like they used apple cider vinegar. Into here, I don't get a lot of peach odor off of this. This will be kind of interesting. So this is, you know what? Let's get into the flavor first, and then we'll get into the commentary. So, so the odor is apple cider vinegar. However, so that winds up being the first flavor note, but then the peaches start to come on. And then it finishes with apple cider vinegar also. So peach is fairly subtle here. I don't know about... I think they would have been better off not putting vinegar in this. Actually, or if they use like a habanero mash, just using that. Heat is fairly low. So this is the last that I'm aware of the easy jams, jellies for me to do that I found in grocery stores. And it's the last one, I think, from Bonnie's Jams that I haven't covered as well. So definitely there's a lot more jellies and jams and stuff out there that I was aware of. And so I've really kind of liked, I back wear this for a really long time. I'm not a huge jelly and jam eater per se, but in doing this, I found that certain ones are just a very, very nice change of pace from the peanut butter and honey that I have, for instance. I can have peanut butter and a hot jelly, which I actually kind of like, because trying to find hot peanut butters they're expensive when you do, and I've done a few of them as well on this series, but they're expensive when you find them, and most of them are just kind of Hot honey and like hot jellies, I think, just lend themselves much, much better to that type of setting than does like a hot peanut butter. But anyway, it's a nice change of pace. But also, I do like the cheese and jelly thing. I like the cheese and jelly thing maybe more than is reasonably healthy. But you know what the hell? You have to live, right? You have to live life. The way, take the moments of enjoyment where you can, because they're fleeting, first of all, but I feel they are becoming fewer and further between as time goes on, and a lot of things, unfortunately, are being made worse. Probably intentionally, actually. So, take the moments where you get them. All right, let me fix the old cowl here. Okay. All right. So I've got some cheeses here. I've got a red wax Gouda. I've got a smoked Gouda. And I've got a goat cheese, which is the chèvre that they mentioned. So I actually did go on. Smoked cheddar will have to just be the smoked Gouda. We'll start off, I think, with the regular Gouda. So we've got crackers. These are the Trader Joe's multi-grain. They call this one the Norwegian crackers or crisp bread. I also have Wasa as well. So Wasa and the Trader Joe's. In fact, let me just show you side by side. So both of these are multi-grain, and I'll just give you an idea of. You can see there's the difference there. This is obvious. The Wasa is obviously a lot thicker. So we've got a few things to play with here, and I think that, let's see here. Yeah, I think what we'll do is I'm going to split these. One of the cool things about these crackers is that you can actually cut them in half. You can see they're all just cut nicely in half, like so, which is unusual to be able to do for crackers. One of the things I like about them, I should have probably got the big board. Oh well. Oh well, what the hell. I guess I could still get it, but I won't. All right, let's try it. Cracker with, whoa. That's usually what happens with crackers when you cut them in half. That one must be a little bit extra dry. I got these. Well, I did the Trader Joe's Scotch bonnet cheddar. And that video should be up in the Hot Animal Action playlist if you're interested in seeing it. Just a little bit of lore about the crackers, in case anyone was wondering. All right. Next, we're gonna go with this does spread pretty well, I will say. I mean, look at that. That's how the jelly is spreading. Like I said, it's more like an apple butter in that respect. We're gonna go with the regular Gouda. Don't want to cut my table. Okay, regular Gouda. Not bad. Oh, that's... The creaminess of the Gouda works really well here. Interesting. What if we try... I might need to resharpen this knife. I don't think there's a little sharpener in there. I don't think it's doing the thing. Yeah, I mean, Gouda's fine. I don't love Gouda. In fact, I don't frequently get it. All right, so it's better here on the cheese without the cracker. Interestingly enough. All right, from there, now let's go to the goat cheese next. The Chèvre. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize for any French people who may be... Oh, fuck. I shouldn't have done that. Who may be offended. Yeah. That was stupid. Yeah. Yep, that was dumb. All right, so man, that goat cheese is very, very pungent. Very it's got that sort of acridity to it, bit of bite to it. We'll come back to you. Like an idiot, I forgot how soft it was. I should have finished cutting all the man, I should have finished cutting all the Gouda first before I did that. All right, smoked Gouda is up next. This is more the Gouda that I'm used to when I do come get it usually. It'd be so, oh god, that smells good. Okay, so let's why don't we do this? We'll throw it on cracker here. Okay. And we don't really, well, I guess I have enough to just try it by itself. Let's do that. So just the cheese and jelly at first. Very, very forward smoked. Wow. Wow. That is very smoked. That's a very smoked Gouda. Yep, it's better. It's tempered somewhat here by the cracker. That is, so the smoked Gouda is better with the cracker. That's good like that. The regular Gouda is better with just the jelly. Smoked Gouda is better with the cracker. Okay. All right, so let me do this. I'm not going to have this with the crackers again, but I am going to have this with the crackers again. It's almost like there's a little bit of a rind on this. I don't think it's waxed though. So maybe what we'll do is, what if we, let me take that part off. There. Let's see how this is. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we'll do a showdown here. But first I have to try the goat cheese with the cracker. That needs to be the next step. Right. I like goat cheese. I find it a bit difficult to use, kind of along the lines of like Philly cream cheese. It actually does have that, for me, that same sort of flavor characteristic actually as well. Just much more so. A lot of very bitter notes to it. The goats are bitter that you're taking their milk to make it. Very soft. Oh man. Okay. 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 I see what you mean. I see what you mean, Jelly. That is a strong. That is really good. Wow. That I could do with it a bit thinner though. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. What if I cut it? Well, I wanted to try to spread it. But this is just not wanting to cooperate with me. It was a bit over concentrated, so maybe what I'll do. This is what came off. Okay, so here's what we're gonna try. I'll throw the. No, let me do this one first. So the two I liked the best were the smoked Gouda and the goat cheese here. So we're gonna have us a little showdown at the old cheese corral, cheese and jelly corral. And I'm just gonna put a bunch of it on there. It's just this is so if you were making a toast, let's say you're making toast, and You spread the not quite apple butter, but close, of this peach stuff on the one side, okay? And on the other side, you spread this chèvre cheese, this goat cheese, okay? At that point, you probably get a pretty good, nice uniform layer. That's better. Really good mix. Good thing I decided to cut the cheese before cutting the cheese. Man, this is so hard to decide. I really like that smoked Gouda in relation to this, but this is quite good too. This is a really good pairing. Man. All right. It's close. It's close, but I have to give it to the Gouda. The smoked Gouda with a cracker is by far the best pairing of the cheeses I've had here. Yeah. Super nice. Super, super nice. Okay. Well, we've got to do, I'm not going through that whole thing again, just with a different brand of crackers. But I got this cheese. I have to get off this knife. And I don't want to waste it. As you probably know, they're not exactly giving goat cheese away these days. Okay, so let's knock it off here with one of the washes. And then, I think you might know what's coming next. If you watch these videos enough, you probably will know what's coming next. If you don't watch these videos enough, why not start so you can know what's coming next? If you don't, it'll be a nice surprise for you, hopefully. Uh-oh. I still need to use this. Okay. Sometimes you can get the goat cheese with fruit in it. I like those. There's I don't think there's a lot of cheeses I don't like. I have favorites, to be sure. Okay. For a pretty sizable dent in this. About half to a third of this here. So, all right, let me just say I do wish the peach was a lot more forceful in the flavor. I don't think vinegar need to be in this, like, at all. I don't think there's any reason for vinegar to be there. I mean, look, I'm just another idiot open mouth on the internet. Yeah, see, it's closer to half. And I don't know the first thing about making any of this stuff directly. But for me, the flavor I was hoping for would just have just been a lot more peach oomph to it. And the vinegar, I think peach is overall honestly kind of a subtle flavor. And I cannot fathom why vinegar would have been in this. Like, to me, it doesn't really add anything other than some flavor notes I wish weren't there. So I wish there wasn't vinegar in this. But, you know, I'm sure Bonnie's Jams has forgotten more about making jams and jellies and crap than I'll ever know. I'm just speaking strictly to the flavor itself. Okay. Yep. We gotta do a peanut butter and jelly. We have to. Can't really have a jelly without. I mean, I guess I could. But I'm just curious to see what, like, peach and peanut butter and peach jelly is just not, to my knowledge, I've never had that, like, ever. This will be my first time. You know how it is. You know what I'll tell you. The older you get, the more experiences, especially when you're a food explorer, the more food experiences you have, the less there's new stuff. And I like to have new tastes, new flavors, when and where I can. Even if it's maybe a silly one like this. So here's where having that vinegar kind of cocks things up. Because I'm getting some weird flavor cancellations here. But the vinegar is still right there. Very prominent. Pretty sure it's apple cider vinegar. Pretty sure. Although they didn't list it like that on the label, which usually I think those places do to try to sell it as healthy or whatever. In any case, I'd be happy, much happier if vinegar was not in there. I mean, why not? I don't know the answer to this, so I'm literally asking. Why not cook the peaches and the sugar and the habaneros and the fruit pectin together? The vinegar is fouling this. fouling it. Really. Well, I guess we got into kind of a longer one today. I wasn't meaning to do that. It's the way it goes sometimes, you know. They take as long as they take. Okay. Well. Okay. Body jams. Making some interesting stuff, I think. I do appreciate that they have been interested in getting some heat into the mix. I appreciate that. The results are not always what I want directly, in this case, for instance. But I do appreciate that they're looking in that direction. Certainly, we've seen a lot of peach habanero hot sauces over time. With the jelly, I feel like you're expecting a lot of sweetness. And, well, for me, they undercut that and the peach flavor pretty substantially by having vinegar as, what is it? This second ingredient in here. I just don't get it. And I think it's unfortunate because when you can get some of the peach flavor, it is, it's still like this peach and habanero in a jelly. I mean, sign me up. But I just, that vinegar, it's a spanner in the works. I'll leave it at that. Spanner in the works of the flavor. Certainly it's not going to prevent me from finishing this, but heat-wise too, this is another one of theirs that there's very little of it here. I don't even know if I would give it a default 1. It's a very, very tame thing. Most of the sort of, I guess, a little prickliness is from the astringency of the vinegar, and there's not a lot of that either. It's not like it's sour or anything. It's one of the things I'm finding out with jellies is that they're dialed down a lot in terms of heat, like way more than I would expect most of the time. And I think jellies for a long time probably didn't include hot peppers. So, you know, maybe we're just at the front edge of that curve and it's going to get better. I don't know. But I do appreciate the inventiveness. And one of the good things about this is that the jellies invariably lead me into cheeses. And it's better if I don't get cheese unless I'm filming stuff. So I try not to get a whole bunch of cheese on hand because I really do enjoy cheese a lot. Probably more than is healthy. So, but it is nice to be able to have it there to kind of balance it and to kind of play around with, you know, certain cheeses are going to work better with this without crackers. Certain ones work better with crackers, you know, sort of substrate there for it. So it's kind of fun playing around with that and just kind of seeing where all that leads. But the vinegar did foul us in terms of the peanut butter, so I can't really have it with peanut butter, unfortunately. But I do have enough. I've got plenty of cheese here to mop up the rest of this, and that'll probably be my breakfast until it's gone. At least for the smoked Gouda and the Chevrolet cheese. Those I will use pretty much exclusively with this. The other Gouda, I think I might have more uses for you, darling. We'll see. We'll see how all that goes. But, yeah, I mean, kind of a mixed bag, I guess. I do like the texture and how spreadable it is. It's not quite like an apple butter. I know I made that comparison. It's not a one-to-one for that, but it is kind of closer to that than I feel like a jelly. Because you saw it was very, very spreadable. So that part I like. Texture-wise, it was fine. I just wish there would have been a lot more peach flavor. I think that's the thing that I'm disappointed with the most in this. Is just I just wish there was a lot more of it than there is. Heat, I could have used more of as well. So unfortunately, I think overall this is kind of a miss for me. But it was one I was looking forward to, of course, because I like peaches. I like me some peaches. But yeah, we're just gonna leave it right there. I guess kind of disappointing, but we'll see what other delicious entries the jelly gods have for us in the future, I'm sure. But for now, we're just gonna leave it there. So that was the Bonnie's Jams Peach Pepper Jelly. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.